What's up, everyone? Give me 1 second. Just loading up the sheet. What's up, everyone? Just want to share this link real quick. So we are in the, I think it's 100,000 contest for DraftKings. And doing 3 lines in that 20th shot. So I found another couple trends I'm gonna try tonight. I'm gonna get through this. This is only I think a 4 game, so we'll get through it pretty quick. Okay, so I'm gonna bring over my page first. So again, anyone that's not been on here before, this is just a quick little sheet I actually made for myself. Just updates the. All it does is gives me the most recent updates. I kind of track it in the morning and then go back and look at things in the afternoon and then one final time at night. So I don't necessarily ever want to know what changed since the morning. I always want to know what changed since the last time I look at it. So that's why I made this. So now right up until lock, I always put these little X's right here next to each guy that had a difference. If it's a green box, the home team changed. If it's a blue box, the visitor changed. And then so I make a little X knowing that those changes have already been done on my sheet. So then right before lock, I'll refresh this, and if any of these other ones light up without an X, then I know to go make a change to the lineup. So we got a couple question marks. We have so Dragic is confirmed. Otto Porter is confirmed. Gary Harris is questionable for Denver, so that can obviously change things. And Butler is still questionable. So there are 2 question marks still on this slate. Don't know why these guys can't figure that out an hour and a half before the game, but so we'll check this one more time before we finish. So I can actually zoom in on this now that I finished the sheet, so you can kind of look at it. I can go to 125. Okay, so what I do is I start again with the kind of the players that I feel are going to be on the court the most, and then I analyze them from top to bottom, just like that. So whoever I feel is going to be have the most minutes and usage, I analyze those guys first, and then I go down to the next tier, and so on and so on. So always typically the first ones are the higher priced players, and I've limited those down pretty good tonight. So I got Westbrook, and he's not a must play, I don't feel, but what I always like to do, I always find my value first, and then I fill in my big guys. I see a lot of people filling out their lines, and they'll fill out the first 3 or 4 guys with those big number guys, and then you're pretty much scrambling at that point. So I find my value first, and then I'll pick whoever I want for my big guys at the end. So what I did here is Westbrook, Porzingis. So Porzingis is coming back. He was just out. I don't know if that was an injury or just rest. I have to check that. But if it was an injury, obviously proceed with caution with this. I didn't read up on him. So Westbrook is a pretty safe play, I think, especially in a 110 implied total. They're pacing up. DVP is 90%, which I'm always looking usually for 88% and up. So he looks good there. The matchup looks decent all around. Porzingis, same thing, exactly identical. DVP, he's not pacing up. They're staying the same. Total's lower, so but he is $2,000 cheaper, so you kind of got to put that in perspective. So if you finish your line, you got 11 grand left. Definitely throw Westbrook in. If you only have 8, don't worry about not having Westbrook. That's kind of how I feel. So moving down, Durant, 9,900. So I don't like his defensive matchup. It's actually 64%. So this scares me a little bit. This obviously will make a big difference. This game is going to make a big difference if Butler's in or out. I think he's going to end up playing. So if Butler doesn't play, I think Durant is a must play. If Butler does play, then Durant is, he's 9,900. So again, after you fill your line, I think he's a safe play at 9,900. I don't think he's a must play. Fill your line with the value, and then at the end, if you have 10 grand left, it's right in between Porzingis and Westbrook. Throw Durant in there. And then Towns, 9,200. He's pretty much the only one that doesn't scare me so much that he's on a back-to-back, because this coach just doesn't give a shit if his guys play into the ground. So he's got the best everything. The team defense, DVP is 93%. So I think he's going to be fine. I don't care about the spread so much. I know it's 11. Again, now this is huge on Butler. If Butler doesn't play, I don't like Towns either. Butler and Towns work together. So every time I've seen Towns without Butler, he's brutal. So then I would automatically pivot right to Durant if Towns didn't play. I mean, if Butler doesn't play. So I'm moving down. You got Jokic at 9,000 or 8,900. He's a decent play. 88% on the DVP. 109 total. So if you don't like those other guys, that's another. You could always, if you're afraid of, if Butler doesn't play, then automatically Towns gets bumped and Jokic goes in Towns' place as the next play. But those guys are pretty equal right now, Towns and Jokic, as long as Butler is playing. So Carmelo Anthony, love him tonight in this spot. 6,100. He's averaging 41 points against Washington. 110 implied total. Second highest on the slate, next to Golden State. And actually missed Faden Curry. Just because I don't like a high spread game like that, -11 with two of those two guys. And I know Curry has a better matchup than Durant, but I'm gonna stick with Durant on this one. But I only want one or the other. I don't think, unless you're playing a 2-game. I don't know what other slates are out there, but if you're playing a 2-game slate and that's your only choice for bigs is to put those two in there, I guess you're kind of stuck with that. But as far as this full slate, I would rather split those guys up, not have them in the same slate. Carmelo Anthony. I think he's got an awesome play tonight. I think he's averaging 40 points against Washington, so that's 6 times money, right? 6.5, 6.25 times money. In a 110 pacing up game, so he has a chance 7 times. I think he could hit 45 points and have you seven times money tonight. So I really like Anthony. Wiggins for Minnesota. I don't like him. I'm gonna go with some different. I would rather Towns there. Again, if Butler doesn't play, then this changes things. So we may have to. I may just make a note on the Facebook page or whatever, or I'll make a note on this page. And again, this site that I think I have all the plays on here. Let me just double check here. So Wiggins, Butler, Taj, Draymond. The only one I think I missed is Hill. Oh, I missed Carmelo. All right, so Anthony. So let me make sure I have all these guys on here before I stop. George Hill. I got the whole set. Sacramento again is the best value on the night. The only problem is that total is like, what is it, 90? It's crazy low, 96. was surprised Richardson didn't come up. Where's Richardson? Yeah, I just didn't like him. Don't like Richardson in this game. All right, so moving on. Jamal Murray at point guard for Denver. These numbers over here on the blue on the left are what basically the team's missing in performance. Right now, the best value is Sacramento, obviously at 21. So they have a 21 rating. And then the next one is pretty much tied with New York and Washington. So, there's a little more usage in minutes out there for those teams. Not enough probably to make that big of an impact, but I guess if you're crossed between two players, you probably want to take the one that has a little more value. Jamal Murray for Denver. Great DVP matchup, 93%. I think overall he's a pretty good play at 6,700. The implied total is 109, which is almost tied for second, same as 110. Should be a close game, that one too. So I like Murray in that spot. Klay Thompson, normally can't stand playing this guy. I think actually what is he, the fourth down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th. Hold on, let me just look at this. 59. Yeah, so this game, I got this game ranked as a 3. So it is one of the lower games, which usually, with the implied total so high, you have to have something in this game. But if you're taking Durant or Curry, then fade Thompson. Again, I just don't want to take a bunch of Golden State. I guess Durant's only 9,900. It's not too bad. So Durant and Klay are only 15 grand, so that's not too bad. I just would never take Curry, Durant, and Thompson. Either you go 2 out of 3 of those guys for sure tonight. Jeff Teague, I originally liked him, but I'm going to stay off of him. Just too many other, just not a lot of value there. Personally, again, that'll change if Butler's out. Courtney Lee, definitely some value here for Lee. Let's see, 53. Doesn't have the best defensive matchup, but I think there's some value there on New York. I don't know that I'm going to have room. As each of these goes down from top to bottom, so the lower ones are definitely the least down here, so I don't think that's a must to have him, but he's a decent option. Dragic. I like Dragic a lot tonight. Anytime you see these fluorescent green, there's always something that stuck out about them. I can't talk tonight. There's always something that stuck out about them that I liked. So I like Dragic tonight. 105 implied total. 40 is the recent history with Sacramento. So that's 5.5 times money right there. I really like this spot a lot. Don't think I would want to spend. Let me see, 61. Yeah, 71. 71's good for him. I'm good with that. De'Aaron Fox, 5,200. Again, a lot of value on Sacramento. The only thing is this 96 here is just you can't have too much. The other night when we loaded up on Sacramento and had Cauley Stein and all the guys there that got us 7-8 times money or whatever they did. I think this implied total was 106. It was just a better game. They weren't such an underdog at +9, I don't believe, when that game went off. So what I'll say about Sacramento is probably again save these spots for last. They are decent value. I just don't think you're going to have a ton of guys going off. Haven't really pinpointed my favorite guy. Randolph is coming back tonight, so that hurts. That hurts Cauley Stein and what's his name? Where is he? So I got George Hill and Scal. Let me just look and see. I would say you probably lay off Fox if you're gonna stay off of someone on Sacramento. You got Bogdanovich is in a decent spot since they were a little short at small forward. Scal's crept up there another 15% on his salary. So I would say he would be second, third. So personally, right now, I'm looking at Bogdanovich and George Hill would be the two probably that you might be safe rostering on that team without getting too crazy and having 3 or 4 in a low implied total game. Buddy Hield, again, he's scary unless when they're really short-handed, then Hield is good. But with Randolph coming back, they definitely got a bump up. They were a 33 rating for how short-handed they were the other night. Again, in a better game. Hield is probably tied with. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see where they are at shooting guard. So they got shooting guard. They got where's Sacramento? So Temple, Carter, and looks like Richardson are out, or Temple and Carter for sure. So shooting guard and small forward. Randolph's back, so power forward's covered. So the smalls, the shooting guard and small forward, where they're going to be a little short. So yeah, so Scal might be tough. Scal's going to take a hit, and his salary just went up. So I'm going to kind of make a note of that. So we're going to just put him normal. So Bogdanovich still has a nice spot. So that'll bump up. So Bogdanovich is all set. And then we have George Hill, shooting guard. So he has some value there since they're a little short there. And Scal's not bad, but I don't know. I would probably stay away from him just because of Randolph being back. He's going to definitely take some of those minutes. And who was the other one? And Fox is going to probably get you 5 times money. So I don't know if you want him. You're looking at, when you're spending $5,000, you want to find someone with 30, 35 points. And then Cauley Stein's a little risky too. So Bogdanovich and and then Hield. So that bumps up Hield a little bit because he covers both shooting guard and small forward. So Hield might be a decent play. So I'll give Hield a little bump. He's gonna Temple came in the other night and went nuts for like 40 points. And Temple's out for sure, so Hield should get some of those extra minutes. So, but again, he's $5,000. He's not $3,000 like Temple was. All right, so moving down, Cantor. Love Cantor tonight. Love Cantor and James Johnson tonight. Those are 2 of my favorite plays on the night. Great DVP matchups. They're the maroon color, which is typically a great value. I like all these guys right here in this little box. I think are phenomenal tonight. You got Trey Lyles for Denver. He doesn't have a huge. Hold on, let me look if there's Denver short at power forward. So Fareed is questionable. I didn't know he was thinking about coming back. If Fareed comes back, that's going to hurt Lyles. Let me just check him. He's questionable. He might play. That's a little risky. 5,200. I'm probably not going to risk that, just because it's too risky. With if Reed comes back, he's definitely going to take some of his minutes. So Cantor for sure, James Johnson for sure. Scal, we already talked about him. Markieff Morris. So he's averaging 36 points against OKC at $4,700. You're talking 8 times money there. I like him here too. So I'm gonna turn this to white so we don't get confused about these. So Cantor, and then we got Markieff, and we're fading Beal and Wall in this game, so he's kind of our guy in that game. And then James Johnson, love him in this spot too. Cantor, Johnson, Morris. All right, we already talked about George Hill. I think he's a decent play, 4,500. You really can't go wrong there. He should get his. I don't care what the implied total is. He should be able to get 20 points, 25. Mason Plumlee, 616. Implied total 109. Great defensive matchup. I love Plumlee, and he's got a flag, which is a stat that I keep on my sheets. This little flag right over here. These guys usually end up pretty good. That was what Simmons had last night. Olynyk, love Olynyk tonight. Looking for between 6 and 10 times money out of Olynyk. He should have a huge night. I'm predicting for Miami tonight. I think he's going to have a 30, 35 point night coming off the bench. I'm not going to highlight that. Randolph, I don't like him. I know he's coming back tonight, but I don't like him. Beasley, I like Beasley. I think he's a 5-6 times money guy. You know, he's $6,200. That's a lot of money to pay coming off the bench. All it takes is one timeout, him having a bad run, and it's shot. You know, a $3,000-$5,000 guy can kind of make up for it the next time out, but all he has to have is one bad run, and you shot at 6,200. So not a lot of value on New York right now. I'm gonna probably just end up fading him because there's other stuff out there. Frank Natilka, let me say his name. Point guard for New York. So Burke is out. Hold on, let's look here. So Baker's out and Burke is out from what I'm seeing here. So shooting guard and Burke and Baker. So he should get his minutes tonight. I would rather take Frank over Beasley tonight. Almost half the price. I like that play a lot. George Dieng. He would probably be my second. Like, this is kind of more of a GPP play. If that game gets out of hand, I like him more if Butler's out. But again, $3,400. Worst case, he gets you 12 points and it doesn't kill your lineup. At $3,400. But he could have a big game, especially if Butler's out. But the implied total is a little better than Frank's. He's a little cheaper than Frank. But I like both these plays though. I don't think you can really go wrong with either one of these value plays, 37 and 3,400. There's not a ton out there. It's kind of more of the 4 or 5 4 or 5 grand guys that have the value tonight. And that's it. So everybody's up on the site. Let me just make sure. That it's updated. Nothing else changed. So Dragic, Jones. What just happened here? Jones just got swapped out. Alright, hold on. So Jones is in here now. Did I just miss that the last time it was up there? Okay. So Derek Jones is now in for Tyler. Alright. I gotta fix this. Did I already know this? I did already know this. I'm losing my mind. I'm sorry. I already had it on here. I just missed it because it was yellow. I wasn't used to looking at it. So he's another. I like him here. Should be picking up. Should be picking up another 18 minutes than he normally does. So he's a good value play here. 45. So yeah, Derek Jones is in play as a value play. Alright, that's it. So everything's updated on the page. If anything else changes, I'll update it on there. But good luck, everybody. Talk to everyone tomorrow.